This episode of the MOC Squad was filmed in front of a live, members-only audience.
Greetings, imagination connoisseurs, and greetings to the one and only Mr. Robert Meyer Burnett. Rob, we've been in cryo sleep for too long, my friend.
Roberto, hola, welcome back from your great trip to the land of the rising sun. I want to hear all about it. And just want to hear all about it as well.
It was fantastic. I cannot
my dreams is to go to Japan.
I cannot recommend it enough. Obviously, we have limited time today because I could talk for hours, but I cannot recommend it enough. What an amazing country, amazing people, and give yourself plenty of time because, like I was telling you earlier, we were there for 12 days and we barely scratched the surface of the surface of all the things we could do. And we had a packed schedule, but it was an amazing time. So, yeah, definitely put it on your list of places to visit. I would highly recommend it.
It's a dream for me to go there. I was going to go in 2010 to go see the live-action space battleship Yamato feature film.
That's right.
But I wasn't able to. Things were a little dicey back in 2010, so I wasn't able to muster the finances to get there.
Yeah, I hear you. No, but I cannot recommend it enough. And now that I have a little bit of experience, I'm happy to share any travel tips with you. But really fantastic place. I'm definitely going to return. It was just so good.
How did Felix love it?
I mean, it was first and foremost his trip. This was to celebrate his 16-year birthday. So this has been a tradition with the family that when you turn 16, you get to go on a trip. And so he chose Japan. And for him, it's a lot about the modern stuff, right? I was really interested in going to see the shrines and
of course
whatnot. Felix wanted to go see the shopping districts and the vintage shopping in Japan is like a subculture all on its own.
Everything in Japan's a subculture.
And then all the cool anime stuff. He got to go to the Ghibli Museum, which is a very exclusive. It's difficult to get tickets for, so it was very exciting for him to be able to do that.
What a cool father-son bonding.
It was so awesome. It was and he's a great travel partner. I mean, we were getting around on the public transportation system is unlike anything that I've ever seen before. And here in Portland, we pride ourselves in having a good public transportation system, but it's nothing compared to what they've got over there.
Yeah.
He navigated it like a champ. I mean, and we would sometimes pick a spot and be like, okay, this will be our meeting spot. You take off to go do your vintage shopping. I was going to do my retro toy shopping. I was going to Sofubi stores and all that kind of stuff. And we just kind of divided and conquered and did our thing. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, is he your youngest?
He's my youngest. So all the others.
So no more trips, dude.
Well, what I told Barb is that now she and I get to do the same trips we did with our kids, but just the two of us.
Nice. You are. You're a model for the rest of us.
I try.
Fantastic. Buy anything?
Yeah, I thought we got some fun things. I got some couple of Sofubi toys. I don't have them here with me right now. I did get myself. I didn't have a lot of packing space. We did bring an extra bag. A lot of it was clothes that Felix wanted to get. I got myself a T-shirt and a couple of other things. But really, my main thing was I just love being able to go around, and I took a ton of pictures just to be able to document it and have all those memories. So,
wow.
Yeah. So, and then I'm being told that your sound is coming in a bit low, Rob. So I don't know if that is on my end that I need to adjust that. What I can do is we can go ahead and start getting people into the room.
Yeah, my sound is normal.
Your sound is normal on your end. Let me see if for some reason I've got audio issues with our audio coming in here. Let me check. Yeah, I'll go ahead and bring it up a little bit on my end.
You want me to go, Mr. Sandman?
Let's see if people
Halloween.
maybe people can let me know if it's. Partly, I don't want to blow out.
Halloween beer.
If it's coming up in any better, if folks can let me know.
By the way, for all of you who are interested, the 9 Inch Nails score for Tron Ares has dropped. You can get it. It's very, very exciting and new. Come aboard. Tron Ares expecting.
Well, I've changed my audio settings to manual, so hopefully, if it's blowing anybody out, let me know. In the meantime, Rob, I know that you have a limited time, so we are going to get everybody in here so we can start chatting with you. So let me go ahead and invite or welcome all of our members who are waiting in the chat room. Here we go. Our member cascade at the beginning of every chat.
I always
remember, folks, as you come in, you will see the tools at the bottom of the Zoom screen, and one of them is called reactions. You click on that one, and you select the raised hand, and then that will put you in a queue. And the queue that is on my
Rocky's gonna yell at me. I'm gonna be mad. God.
The queue on my screen. The queue on my screen might look a little bit different from the queue on yours. So just so you know, I'm going to go by the order as you show up on my screen here. Also remember that in the Zoom chat, in the Zoom itself, there is a chat tool. So if you need to communicate with me, let me know. You know, if you need me to call on you later or whatever, just let me know.
And also, if you want to talk, you put your hand up by doing what?
Raise hand. There's a button.
Where is that?
It's under reactions. So there's a react. Sorry, there's a react button at the bottom of the Zoom screen.
Right, with the heart.
With the heart, and then one of the choices there is going to be raise hand. And that's what lets me know.
There should be a middle finger option so you can split me off. Maybe we should add one.
That one comes by default, Rob.
Yeah, I guess you can do that on your own.
All right, so let me go ahead. We have our first person coming up is Doug Saylor. So let me go ahead.
We haven't seen Doug in a while. What's up, dude?
Let me go ahead and let him in, and then I'll go ahead and start pinning folks here so that everybody can see who's talking. Hello, Doug.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir. You sound good.
Hey, good. Welcome back, Roberto.
Thank you so much, Doug. Good to see you.
Anyways, I took my son to Toy Story last night.
Nice.
It holds up really well.
Had he seen it before?
I think he has, but not for a long time. He's autistic, so mostly he watches like superhero and Disney movies and whatnot. And but it surprised me before the movie. There was a still picture of Gladiator, because I guess that's coming back, and it surprised me because he said, "This is Sparta," and I said no. I said this one is.
It's close.
Yeah, I said no. I said this one is. Are you not
entertained?
Yeah. Are you not entertained? And it got me to thinking that the best movies has that one line. It doesn't give anything really away, but there's that one line that encapsulates the entire movie.
Well, yes, that lives on years, if not decades after. But it has to be the right line delivered in context within the film to resonate. Because you can have a great one-liner, but if it has to have the right contextual meaning. And this is Sparta, obviously from 300. When Gerard Butler delivers it, you can't forget it.
No.
So,
and just like Russell Crowe with the are you not entertained?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, in doing it, and the camera's coming around him, and he's throwing out his arms.
Yeah. Like it's just amazing the way that interaction happened, because I did not expect it from my son.
Right.
He has not seen 300. I guarantee you.
But he's seen, I mean, the way kids are watching movies now, they're watching clips on social media. They've broken films into like 2-minute segments.
Yeah,
So,
and it's YouTube that's been huge for him, right? It's opened up, like, for years, it's just opened up another basically word for him, right? So that's where he learns a lot of this, and I don't mind him learning about movies. Let me tell you, I don't mind that at all.
no.
But I'm watching Peacemaker season 2, and I'm just loving it.
It's a lot of fun. I've been quite enjoying it. I'm really wondering if they're going to do the Earth X reveal, because that would be amazing.
I think that's coming next episode, because I forget the character's name. His best friend, his African American best friend. But she was looking at that one. I think it was a sword, golden sword, and I think she's going to see something on it.
Yeah. I mean, it's so interesting how they can get away with, because a lot of people that don't know that Earth X, or as they like to call it, Nazi Earth, it's been portrayed in various animated shows and live action DC series throughout. But it's interesting because in Peacemaker, there's no reason you would have butted up against that yet, because you haven't really seen the government. We don't know the past. We just know where they're at right now.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see if, like, Eagly turns into Uncle Sam or whatever. However it's going to play out, I'm really looking forward to seeing where it's going to go.
And my hot take is the cameo. The big cameo is going to be Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn.
Interesting.
That's my hot take, because he was asked if Margot Robbie still James Gunn was asked if Margot Robbie was still Harley Quinn, and he said after the end of the Peacemaker second season, you'll know.
Wow.
So it's going to be one of the. It's going to be either a new Harley Quinn, or it's going to be Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn. I know he loves Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
So that's my hot take. Harley Quinn.
That could be. And then, do you think Superman's going to show up?
I don't think he's going to show up in this one. I think we'll definitely see him in Supergirl, but no, I don't. I can't see Superman in this one. But you never know. Who expected the Justice League and then the Justice King in this?
Oh,
one,
I know. I loved that. I love that retcon. It's great.
Yeah, it's controversial. I was surprised it was controversial, but some people don't like it. But no, I think it's. I liked his James Gunn's explanation for it. There was it was just a memory. It was I forget what he said, but it was a wrong memory that or something like that. But I'm loving the writing style. Flurry was a weird character, and now Tim Meadows is bringing it to light. Now he's starting to be a half decent guy.
Yeah,
and
it's interesting.
I love that. So entire Peacemaker, like everything, is all, in my opinion, all about redemption, and I love it because I'm all about redemption. I've had to be redeemed in my life. Early on, I wasn't the greatest guy, and I believe in redemption, and I think that's why this whole series is just resonating with me. It just is. Right. Yeah. I just love it. So anyways, I'm going to sign off. I love that you do this, Rob. Not too many people do. And I love that you talk to us.
I love doing it too. And, by the way, you should take your son to see Gladiator if they play it.
I don't know if that's his bag, but I might. Unfortunately, it's on my wife's birthday. I don't think I can make it fly. But
All you have to do is take him in the afternoon and take your wife out to a nice dinner. She'll never know.
there you go. Good, great relationship advice from Rob.
There you
love
go.
it. Okay, thanks, Rob.
And by the way, your wife will find out and think you're a great father. It'll work out. It'll all work out.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Rob.
Good to see you, Doug. Thank you so much for joining us. I've been hearing rumors, Rob, that we're going to see Superman in Earth X.
That would be amazing.
And
because then
that way it could even be a different actor.
Right. Yeah, that leave it to James Gunn to stir the pot. I also
heard a rumor that the Peacemaker and his trio, whatever his team is called, has already killed Superman in Earth X.
Oh,
that Superman was part of that resistance movement.
We will see. I can't wait to see where it all goes. And then they're going to have to shut the door, I think, on that pocket universe.
Yeah. It'll be interesting, but we'll see. Okay. Doug, thank you so much once again for joining us. We have Alon joining us all the way from Israel. Alon, you should be able to join us. Welcome, my friend.
What's up, man?
Shalom.
Shalom. Happy holidays.
Chag Sameach and Shana Tova. Happy New Year.
Next man. Yes. It's a new day, a new dawn, a new year.
Yes. So Rosh Hashanah is coming on Monday. So it's a new Jewish year. So Happy New Year to all of you. Doug, I wanted to say that you could bring your wife to the movie also. Couldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, come on. What woman doesn't love to watch sweaty Maximus fighting in the pits and then fighting in the arena in Rome?
Yeah, she wouldn't mind. But and also, Roberto, I wanted to say, how cool would it be if they show Superman and it's red sun?
Oh, I would love that too.
Yeah, something like that would be awesome.
And it's Henry Cavill.
I didn't catch this, but
see?
I didn't catch this, but somebody said that the kaiju that they fought at the end of the last episode was the same from Superman.
Yes,
it is.
Yes, it looked like the same Superman.
Oh, okay. Kaiju. I didn't catch that, so that's interesting. So maybe the events are paralleling what happened in.
Well, any good mirror universe parallels, those multiple realities.
That
right. Could be so cool.
Maybe Superman in this world is Lex Luthor. Who knows?
You know what? Like Alexander Luthor in Earth 3, where the crime syndicate lives. He's the only superhero. Going back to Crisis on Infinite Earths. I'd love that.
I gotta say that I didn't really like the first two episodes of Peacemaker. Something didn't connect. It was just too much to take in. There was so much there was so much unnecessary nudity and stuff, which I'm not conservative or something, but I felt it was unnecessary. I felt like it
went a little far. Even I was like, that's a little far.
Yeah.
Not that I didn't love it, but it was a little far.
And there's one thing that I still don't really like about this season, and that is sidelining Vigilante.
Yeah.
Which used to be my favorite character in season 1, and now it feels like all you can do is say he's got one line in every episode or something like that.
I think though he's being saved,
and usually he's he acts stupid. So
yeah,
it feels like he's stupider than last season.
I think that's intentional. I think that's going somewhere.
I hope so.
I do too. It's so funny that they've turned, I read all 50 issues of the Vigilante comic, and at the end of that series, Adrian Chase kills himself. I mean, it was this shocking end to those 50 issues, because Vigilante was introduced in a Teen Titans annual, I think in Teen Titans Annual 1, and then to see where they took him in his series, it was like, wow, man, that's dark. So
It is.
what's wild to see Vigilante as the type of character that he's being portrayed as in Peacemaker.
Yeah, I really like him though. I still like him. I still think
Sure.
like he's a good character, and like I like the portrayal of the actor. I don't remember the name. Does a great job. As for like the rest of Peacemaker, I'm hoping that it will go on me even more. Because like the last couple of episodes did feel a little better. But overall, I think I enjoyed the new season of Dexter more.
Oh, that was great.
That it was great.
It was
and
really
like,
good.
It felt as if like this was Dexter's end game.
Yes.
Where everyone came back and like and it was so good. Like every episode ended on a better cliffhanger than the previous one. Except for the last one. The last one, they dropped the ball a little bit. I feel. But overall, it was such a great season. I really enjoyed it, and it
was good enough that
high school years.
Yeah, they canceled the other one. What was it? Original Sin?
Yeah, I never watched it.
Yeah, they were going to do another season of that, but the new season of Dexter is doing so well that they canceled Original Sin and just went back to doing.
That's understandable. I never really got Original Sin. I never saw it, and in the new season, there's like one scene, I think, one flashback of like Original Sin, and that was fine by me. But I didn't really connect with it like in the trailers and stuff, so I never even bothered watching it. I did watch the previous season of like this. What was it called? Like the first comeback.
Right. I forget, what was that called? When they were in Alaska.
Yeah, and like it started out great, and then like and it went terribly. I don't remember, but like but I really appreciated this season. This season was much better. This was like a 9 out of 10 for me. This was easily the best season since season 4.
Are you watching Alien Earth?
No, I am not. Not yet. Not intentionally. I don't ignore it intentionally or something. I just like it's holidays and stuff like that. So and I just like started a new job, so I need to navigate my time. Let's say with caution.
Yeah. Now, can you get called up to serve?
Theoretically not. Theoretically yes, but I wasn't. And I think that's because I'm past 35. It's harder for them.
Right. Yeah.
A little harder for them. It's not impossible though. Yeah.
Well, hopefully we'll come to an end of that.
I love the last episode of Alien Earth airs this week, so you'll have the whole thing to binge when you have the time.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I might binge because like Rosh Hashanah is coming, and I am going off on a vacation to like to the Sea of Salt, the Dead Sea.
Yeah.
So I might have some dead time to burn. So I might take up on that advice. Anyway, Shana Tova, Happy New Year. And,
Happy New Year.
I'll see you soon.
All right. I'd forgotten about the playing people off. I hadn't heard that in a while.
Thank you. Great to see you, Alan. And congratulations on the new job. I hope it's going well.
Yeah.
Brian Erdy is here to join us, hopefully with some fun collectibles to share. Welcome, Brian.
Well, he has an action figure next to him.
How's it going, guys?
What's up?
Not too much. My daughter was coming over to pick up, well, to be frank, gummies. And I said, you need to stay and hang out, and you could be on the Burnett podcast with me. So this is
so
good.
I got to ask you, can I ask your daughter a question?
Of course.
What's it like to have an uber geek as a father?
It's an experience, that's for sure. One of the big things when I moved down here is I told him he had to sell off a lot of his collectibles because I didn't want to deal with him after he was gone.
What? How dare you?
I was like, this is too much stuff for me. I'm very nerdy in my own aspects. I'm not nerdy in the way that he is with the computers and like the Star Wars, the Star Trek. That's not my thing, but I'm very nerdy in my own ways.
What is your nerddom? Where does that take you?
Harry Potter, Bob's Burgers. I'm a huge Bob's Burgers fan. I'm very into reptiles, dogs. I'm a very animal person.
Okay.
So I have my own nerd things. They're just not particularly the same as Dad's. So
And tattoos.
yes, I have lots of tattoos that he does not like.
Wow.
But she's kind of we're kind of meeting in the middle because she finally asked me. She wants to take one of my illustrations from my book Midnight and have a tattoo made out of it. And where are you going to put it?
On my thigh.
On her thigh. So that's
really cool. That's what an honor to have somebody ink themselves forever with your work. That's amazing.
Yeah. It was really cool because he made it so that I was really involved, and a lot of the things in the book are nods towards me and my childhood and things that I like. So I took one of the scenes. It's actually cut out of the book originally, and I was like, I like this one a lot. Let's work on it, tweak it, and let's find someone to do it, because I think it would be a cool tattoo to have and be like, hey, my dad wrote a book and this is a piece of it.
Wow. That's really cool.
So I'm going to pivot a little bit. Two things. I want to bring up something about Alien Earth, and then you talk about a collectible. I did end up with a collectible that's something I've been searching for because I missed the window from when it was printed. But first, Alien Earth. I love it. I'm totally surprised because when it was announced, I was like, do we really need an Alien TV series? I've gotten really bored with the Alien movies just kind of being a rehash over and over and over. And this is a really neat spin, but are we allowed to talk about stuff that could be potential? I don't know anything. I just have a theory on what's going to happen.
You can say whatever you want.
We're
all friends here.
We're all friends here. I am convinced that the eye alien, the little eye
Oculus.
Yeah. That is going to what is she called? The boy genius. I am convinced that is going to end up in him somehow.
Oh, for sure. I think for sure.
And I love it.
You know, my favorite scene in the whole show was when, although I was talking about this last night, is my favorite scene, but it also didn't make much sense, which is my problem. I like Alien Earth, but it pisses me off because of all the stupid. There's a lot of stupid stuff in terms of plot. Like they do. And I loved when Kid Cavalier figured out that he could communicate using mathematics. I thought that was great. And the sheep was doing pi, but there's no way that should have our numerical system.
Right.
And that bot, like he writes it down. I'm like, okay, if he said, I'm going to do a number for you, and he tapped it like he hit it on he beat it out like it was a drum. Like you went 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you had the sheep do the same thing and realize that he knew what pi was, and with the taking a dump with the last number. That was amazing. But when he wrote it down, I'm like, this is my problem with modern science fiction, especially in media. It's monumentally stupid. And you can't, it also destroys any credibility you have. Like if you're trying to world build, the first thing that went to my mind is, why would you expect an alien being to know our numerical, that's a language. A sheep wouldn't know it. If it was in a human being, I could believe that you're tapped into the neural network and you could understand. But when he writes it down, it made him stupid, it made the show stupid, and it made me angry. And that show has done that a lot. And I'm like, why is it that you writers can't figure out and do something that's smarter? Because once he writes that down, you shattered the credibility and, dare I say, the verisimilitude of what you're doing. And they've done that a lot through the show. And been enjoying it, despite my reservations, because whatever they're doing is smarter than Star Trek: The Next Generation. I mean, Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. So that's better.
So speaking of television that has really good writing, as in 1981, I think I was in 7th or 8th grade, we were required to watch I went to a Catholic school. We were required to watch a miniseries called Masada.
I love Masada. Jerry Goldsmith's score.
Well, and watching that, starts off with that opening narration and all the soldiers marching up, and Goldsmith's music slowly builds up, and then you get that fantastic fanfare.
That's great.
And I was like, I didn't know who did the music. I just remember, I love this, and I'm watching the credits. And it comes up, music by Jerry Goldsmith, and I was like, wait. Remember, I'm 12, and I'm like, wait. Star Trek: The Motion Picture, Planet of the Apes, Alien, and I'm like, this is awesome. And that was kind of the first time I connected with, like, I think I like this guy, Jerry Goldsmith. And
that was a lot for your 12-year-old brain.
It was a lot. That didn't involve copies of Hustler. But so I finally snagged the 3 or is it 4 CD collection. This came out a couple of years ago. So I was just very excited to pick this up, and I can't wait to spin it. I just got it this past week.
Great score.
Yeah.
It is you can keep going. There's 2 of you.
Cool. Well, thank you for the time. You want to say anything? Goodbye.
No, it was nice to meet you.
Good to meet you too. It was nice to hear the story of multi-generations of nerds.
Yes.
Or as we like to say here, imagination connoisseurs.
Indeed. You're in Atlanta next week?
I am in Atlanta next week. This is a kind of a recent thing, but yes.
Well, if you need a ride from the airport, hit me up.
I'm going. Actually, you can come watch this. I am testifying against Alec Peters in a Axonar lawsuit.
And that's open to the public?
Anybody can go.
What day?
Apparently.
What day?
It's Thursday and Friday for me. That's when I'm potentially going. So that's wild.
Okay.
So
great to see you, Brian.
I will keep you I'll keep you informed, because I don't exactly know where it is, but I for sure can't. I'm really excited to do this, actually.
Wow. That's
closure
big.
In my life.
No kidding.
Maybe there will be closure.
Maybe. Rob, I heard a running theory on your complaint about Alien Earth that the Oculus had already been in a human before. And so it could assimilate human knowledge. So by the time it was in the sheep, it would have recognized our number system.
I love that. I love that, as I'm the one that's always looking for those explanations. But if that were the case, they should have indicated that in the show.
Yeah. And they could have said something like, Boy Genius could have said, we recovered the body of this guy, so we know he's been in him. I want to see how much he's learned, or something along those lines, right?
Right. I mean, that's an easy fix. Mm-hmm. And my whole thing with it is the way it was presented.
Yeah.
Is that, look, if I'm thinking this, and I use myself as a litmus test, I wasn't the only one thinking it. And it was just they could have prevented that. Yeah. They could have easily alleviated, like you just said. There's the fix right there.
Yeah, and maybe it was there and they edited it out. I mean, I personally have had a lot of problem with the lack of security and the incredible amount of leeway they give to these basically prototype Android hybrid.
Well, and the kids are also acting dumb.
Yeah,
they act like they're either mentally deficient, whether kids aren't stupid.
Yeah. The excuse is that they're kids, but yeah, you're right. They're not stupid.
They're acting like they're developmentally disabled, not children.
Yeah.
And I think that is like Brian just said. When he was 12 years old, he figured out that Jerry Goldsmith also scored Star Trek: The Motion Picture. I mean, kids aren't dumb.
Yeah.
And I, we have been infantilizing. When I was 12 years old, I knew everything. Or at least I thought I did. But kids were not stupid.
Yeah.
And nowadays, I think kids, actually, to be honest, I think kids they have been infantilized since they've been kids, and I think they're not. But why do they have to be? I mean, I think it's really interesting. If you put an entity, they keep saying kids are in the bodies of adults.
Yeah.
But these aren't real bodies. They're mechanical constructs. It's not like you're feeling. I mean, they're playing with your hormones, or they're doing they're not. It's the whole thing, I think, is not as well conceived as a great science fiction novel.
Yeah.
But it's interesting.
And I appreciate some of Noah Hawley's sensitivities, even some stuff like the way they do the recaps at the beginning of each episode as the letters come on.
That's really, it's really cool.
A lot of those are like very interesting Hallisms. But for example, as much as people are saying, Kirsch is aware of all the security situation, and so he's allowing these things to happen, it's way overboard. I mean, to be so permissive and be. So anyway, I don't want to monopolize time. I do want to remind folks, just like RRTNZ just did, that you can drop super chats. So make sure that if you are on the YouTube stream and you would like to contribute a comment, we will read it here. RRTNZ says, "Can I join you today? Hope you are well. Live long and prosper. When grizzly bears go for a walk in the woods, they keep an eye out for Chuck Norris." Thank you so much, RTNZ. And we have, that's it. That's the only live chat, super chat we've got. So we're going to go to our next person in the queue, which is Darth Plato. Welcome, Darth. Oh, did Darth step away? No,
you're good. What's up, man?
I'm sorry, I was reading something. Let me restore the page. I had it minimized. All right, I'm here. What's up, Rob?
What's going on, dude? Thanks for moderating.
Anytime. I'm glad to be here. The Alien Earth thing. I couldn't agree more with what you're saying. It drives me crazy watching the show. But just a possible explanation about the scene about the boy genius. I hate that character where he's sitting there talking to the goat. Is it possible that the goat knows pi because whatever you want to call it occupied the body of that spaceship guy?
Yeah, I mean no, he absolutely could have, but then they should have explained that. We don't know. One of the things that always bothers me when they introduce these creatures and introduce you have to give us rules so we can anticipate. The fun thing about the xenomorph is we learned about him in the first Alien. Once you know that there's face huggers and all that, and it lets us, the horror becomes greater because we can anticipate what it is. But if they're going to do that, like you said, what the person whose mind was occupied, and maybe that's what they just assume, and I think that's a good way to point that out, but they've got to tell us that once that alien creature, if you can go into the body of a whatever and you assimilate all their memories, or I mean, that's a lot to ask for an alien being to suddenly be able to go into the mind of another alien being and just know everything, but if they said that he could, then I would be like, okay. We don't know what he was able to glean about human beings from that. Sure. Just set it up.
Well, one thing we know for sure that it doesn't see eye to eye with the xenomorph.
You're a terrible, terrible man.
What do you mean?
That's a bad joke.
Oh, come on.
But that's a dad joke, dude. You just made a dad joke. No, but you're right, and it can't get into the xenomorph. Right?
Yeah, sure. I didn't. Oh, yeah, it doesn't have an eye. I didn't.
Well, because the eye, I have Pearl right up there, my giant 1-to-1 scale xenomorph head, and it's got the translucent skull over it that protects its ocular cavities, so it can't get through the protection. So But Kid Cavalier 2
Yeah,
bothers me.
that's actually, I never thought about that. I don't really have an eye for that kind of detail, I guess.
Yeah. But why is Kid Cavalier such an idiot?
He is.
Why does he walk
hate,
in with his bare feet into a meeting and puts his feet on the desk? It's like, I don't.
What's dumber about that scene is actually that's not the dumb part. The dumb part is the Japanese lady sitting there getting completely flustered about this. Like, what is like you're a major player,
right,
in world politics and business. You should be like
zen.
You should be seriously. You should be a major player. If you're a major player, you don't let somebody take you out of your game.
No, and she would have a way to because he is a kid. She would have a way to slap him down.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing that I don't.
It drives me crazy.
Yeah, that's where I feel that. Look, Noah Hawley, I really like Legion and I like what he's done in Fargo, but I think in this day and age, for those people who either aren't literary minded when it comes to science fiction, they think they can skate by because the genre isn't. Look, if you're writing Alien Earth, it should be God in what they're doing. It should be Godfather-esque in its writing. You're dealing with the Machiavellian machinations of these world, like you said, world leaders, and they should be way ahead of us.
Mm-hmm.
And the joy should be watching people that are really smart, diabolical, and devious in what they do. But they keep doing things that undermine that. And at the end of the day, you realize that it's like they're setting up a Quentin Tarantino standoff, like the end of True Romance or the end of Reservoir Dogs or something, or Django, where you're going to see these factions all come together and they're basically going to destroy each other.
Okay,
which is fine, I guess.
So they want to put this eye in somebody else. Who do you think they're going to put it into?
Oh, I think Kid Cavalier is going to do it.
He's going to put it into himself?
Yes. Either that or someone's going to put it. He says he has an idea.
Put it into himself.
I don't know, or it's going to get in him. I agree. I agree that it's going to finally wind up, and then he'll finally learn what he wants before he dies. I think
they're going to put it into the brother.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's probably what they're going to do.
That kid's got to go.
Yeah, I agree. What is it? As soon as they introduced that character when they reunited with the sister, I knew the only way that plot line can end is with his death.
Mm-hmm. He's been a bad character. He's cannon fodder from the beginning. But yeah, you're probably right, because that's what Kid Cavalier said. I know who I'm going to put it in.
Or the dead scientist that's already. He probably doesn't know that guy's dead yet.
But the thing, what's really interesting to me is, if I had written the show, and obviously the Oculus creatures become, if it's super intelligent, what if they're the custodians of the xenomorphs? If you really wanted, they've made it seem like they've picked up all these creatures on these individual planets 65 years ago or whatever. But one of the things that we can't, human beings, especially with our films and television, we have a really hard time conveying intelligence that isn't anthropomorphized to human beings in some way.
Sure.
All of our aliens either have to become humanoid in appearance, and it would have been really interesting to take that creature and make that creature with the way it is, like the most intelligent. Like once you could talk to that thing, then all bets are off. Then it'll become the most interesting alien in the universe, because it gets tiresome to watch all of these anthropomorphized aliens that are so similar to human beings, when it would be really cool to have a super intelligent microbe.
One thing for sure is that when we do see it merging with a person, it's going to be a really gross evulsion soon.
Yeah, which I look forward to. Bring it on.
So, and the court board is going to be like, oh, I have a new pupil.
Good to see you, Darth. Thank you for joining us today.
New pupil. Multiple. I have more than one. Bob's up now.
So again, another theory floating out there, Rob, is that the season will end brother against sister. The brother associated with the Oculus and the sister with the xenomorph. Because she's got that. She's tied to the xenomorph, and he's gonna have the octopus eye thing in his head, and so that's gonna be the big confrontation at the end.
But also, like, I don't like the idea that suddenly a newborn xenomorph has a language.
Oh, yeah.
Like that she suddenly knows this language and can talk to this newborn alien by clicking her teeth. I mean, again, I understand that they've just taken a narrative shortcut.
Yeah.
But I don't buy it. I don't believe that. No newborn animal is full of a way to communicate immediately, especially with.
But the xenomorphs, it's been established since the original Alien that they do evolve rather quickly.
It's true.
So
that is true.
But
in terms of getting language, how would it know how to communicate with another?
Again, I mean, since they are bioengineered, maybe language is a skill that is pre-programmed in a xenomorph, so that they. I mean,
maybe. They're only bioengineered if you go by the Prometheus mythology, which they're saying Noah Hawley has said.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you think of it like bees, right? They're always similar to bees, and bees, I think, from the moment they're born, they just start working with the hive, right? There's an instinctual type of behavior. I don't know.
That I'll buy that.
Yeah, but again, maybe a little more explanation, or I mean, I see the problem with then delving too much into too much exposition, but at the same time, I think I feel like I need a little bit more.
There's just too much.
Yeah.
It piles up. There's too many things that they've let skate by. Like even though you're a kid, if you're in a biohazard lab and your feeding thing gets broken off, I'm like, then you're gonna open the door and go into it's like, come on, man.
Yeah. No calling security, no notifying Kurd.
And why are those labs ever left unattended?
Completely left unattended.
Ever.
Even a few episodes back, when the xenomorph was born out of the lung, they already knew about the xenomorph. Why would you just have it in a glass container in an empty lab? Had she not been there to talk to it, it would have just escaped and gone who knows where. And stuff like that to me makes zero sense.
Well, also, why wouldn't you? If you're one of the richest corporations in the world, there's got to be xenobiologists on Earth. Why wouldn't you bring in a team? Like, that's why I think back to movies like the Andromeda Strain, which is.
I think they're trying to make the Boyd Cavalier seem like he does things his own way, right? So it's
but he would know. He doesn't know anything about alien life.
Yeah. But he doesn't know. He doesn't know anything about Isaac Asimov quotes either. So he is. I think they're dropping hints that he's not as smart as he thinks he is.
Right. Right. No, clearly.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, you would think that like as these creatures were acquired over 65 years or whatever, that Yutani, somebody would be communicating. I mean, they knew that they were these. They knew that Yutani knew that these things were
being collected
out there.
Yeah.
Well, why wouldn't you have a team? Like, if you're sending a ship out there to collect these things, why wouldn't you have a full-on? I mean, they showed this team on the ship, but why wouldn't they be the best? Like, if you're sending this team out to acquire some of the most dangerous species to human life,
right?
Why wouldn't you have a ship full of like the best researchers that you could possibly get?
Because the best of the best wouldn't sign up for a trip that will take 65 years to complete. It's my guess.
I think, though, that if you're going after alien life, there'd be plenty of scientists, lifers.
There might be lifers that might want to do it. You're right.
Plus, it's only 65 years. They're still in cryosleep. They're not going to age 65 years.
I'm thinking that some of those guys are actually like the planet in Alien 3, Fiorina, the prison planet. These are people from that planet that it's either they stay in Fiorina or they work their sentence in one of these missions. And this is how Yutani saves money. They're like, you don't get paid, but you get to work, cheap prison labor that's not very smart, and we're going to send them in these missions where they're totally expendable. But
I guess. I mean,
all right. Bob Littlepage might have something to say about that. Although I have a feeling it's going to be more about Star Trek. Welcome, Bob.
There we go. Frankly, I've been ignoring anything after Aliens. They fell off the track with Alien 3. Alien 3 should have been an adaptation of the Dark Horse Alien versus Predator.
well, that's a Alien versus Predator should have been would have been an adaptation of.
Yeah, well, by then it's too late. But no, it should have been. Okay, we're going out there and they're caught in the middle when predators and aliens fight each other. That's what it should have been. What after that, it's like Alien Resurrection is only interesting because it's kind of an embryonic form of Firefly. The rest of it just
Yep.
I have no interest in what Prometheus thing is like. When they you never saw Firefly. That ship is Serenity on steroids. Come on.
But looks good.
Yeah, it looks good because it ripped out Serenity. Put 4 inches instead of 2 and make it twice the size. No, I never saw what you bull. Okay. It's a little too specific.
It's true.
Yeah. But apparently, because we'll pivot to Star Trek because I'm saving political stuff, my own stuff. I'm not going to go there. The shirt's the closest I'm going to get. But apparently, there's in danger that Star Trek Year 1 might not happen. Honest and for true.
Well, I mean, I who knows? I think after the Skydance merger with Paramount, they want to turn Star Trek into a feature film franchise.
I don't think so. I don't think because there's been no movement on the feature films and plus
Skydance is making big moves.
They wanted, Scott, you pitch us something for Legacy. They didn't pitch Legacy. They want to do Legacy. But Kurtzman said, no, we're down with this and this. No, we don't want that. What you want to do sucks.
Well, they're never going to make Legacy because Kurtzman didn't create it.
Yeah. And
he can get a executive producer credit on it, but there's no way that they would do that.
And if they make him do it, he said he'd sabotage it. So okay, fine.
Plus,
but they've already been told finish
those
up.
Shows haven't made any. Those shows have not made any money.
Oh God, no.
They haven't generated subscriptions. Just like the J.J. Abrams Star Trek films really didn't make any money.
No, not even the first one. It took forever to match, adjusted for inflation, the motion picture, and was on 3 times as many screens. Motion picture only came out on 1,000 screens.
Yeah.
And JJ came out in like 3,000, and it still took a while to match up.
Yep.
Stuff started with camp. You thought, oh, look how much money, man. No, you got to adjust for inflation because that equals butts and seats. And if you're not doing that many butts and seats, guess what? You're not doing that much better.
But there's also they had to roll in everything that was spent on previous iterations of Star Trek that didn't happen. And
phase 2 shit,
Phase 2, Planet of Titans, all that.
Because that was a $20 million film.
Yeah, and they built sets for Phase 2, and had 13 scripts that they paid for.
But they still used them for the motion picture after redress.
Yeah, they did.
So it wasn't a total loss. But
shows are bad.
Yeah, and it's too bad the Star Trek Continuing sets aren't in Georgia anymore.
No, but you
could have swung down there, but they're in Sandusky. I think they're up. I think they're actually.
But you know what? You got to go to Ticonderoga and see.
I know. One of these days,
those sets. It's amazing what James Cawley has done, and they have the shuttlecraft now too.
Yeah, that's good. No, that's on the bucket list to get up there. But again, I think it was whatever that. I keep blanking on the name. The one guy did the podcast out of Australia. Actually cited. I posted on Facebook. I was like, no, Ticonderoga. Those are the museum quality, perfection soundtrack. Sound effects piped in, plasma screens. And everything is all closed in, like you're really on the ship. You want to see what's really like on Desilu? You go to the Star Trek Continue sets because those are working sets. You got a wall missing over there for the wrong. They didn't have a view screen for a long time.
Right.
This is what it was like on Desilu. You want to see Shatner go through some flashbacks? Get him on those. Okay, yeah, now I remember. That's where craft services was.
Well, I mean, but Star Trek Continues has basically recreated the sets as they were on the configuration is what they were on the Desilu stages.
And imperfections and all, because in person they're like a little rough.
Yeah, but
like the rocker switches on the transporter console. Don't push too hard; they'll go right through.
they've done a great job
Yeah.
on those.
On camera, it's perfect though.
Yeah, it's Ticonderoga is amazing.
Mhm.
It really is.
Yeah.
I loved shooting on those sets. It was fun.
Well, I think you'd have fun with the Sergeant Container sets too. Again, they're a little rougher. But
Yeah.
it's like, but again, they went to insanely. They even added film grain.
Oh yeah.
And went with a 4:3 ratio. It's like, no, we're going to match up.
No,
as
Star Trek Continues. There's a lot of good stuff in there. I just
Mhm.
wish some of the
Yeah.
scripts were better. You know, there's missteps that they made that I was like, I like the final 2 episodes though.
Oh yeah.
They were good.
Yeah, that was the mission statement. Let's bring it right up to the motion picture. You know?
Yeah.
Why was everybody going their own separate ways here?
No, I liked it.
And also explains why the extensive refit. Well, because they beat the living shit out of the Enterprise. That's why.
Yeah.
And also, Lana, because Roddenberry's novelization said they lost 93 people during the course of the mission.
Yep.
The 5-year mission. At part 1, he mentions they lost 73. It's like, okay, well, the last 20 were in that, when they took a bite out of the secondary hull. Well, there's those 20.
Yeah, I like that in the motion picture when they talked about that.
Mhm.
And Kirk was upset that everyone talked about how successful he was, and he's like, I lost all these people.
Yeah.
Because that's almost a quarter of his crew.
But compared to every other ship that went on the mission, it's like at least he made it back.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of ships didn't make it back at all, or were really beat to crap.
Yeah. I like that. I love that novelization.
Yeah. Also, one of the footnotes that he put as Kirk, like trying to put a stake through the heart of the KS scenes.
Oh yeah.
The Kirk Spock, and it's like, no.
I mean, that was
from the words of Admiral Kirk. No, I have always preferred women personally, and plus, I'd also think I'm not so foolish that I would fall for a mate that would come into heat only once every 7 years.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about the novelization for Star Trek: The Motion Picture that, contrary to popular belief, Gene Roddenberry himself actually wrote.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot. If you want to read what his unfiltered idea of Star Trek was, that novelization is key. It's an amazing book for various reasons.
And
mostly
explains who was that gal on the transporter pad, but with the Sonak when they got turned.
Yep, and you also get you get to see the Admiral Nagora scene is in there. It's a lot of great stuff's in that book. I recommend it highly for any Star Trek fan.
They had a set design for the Nagora scene. I don't think they ever filmed it though.
They never did.
I still wish that they had included Nimoy's ad lib on the last scene on the bridge. I've heard the audio, but we're going to be back on Vulcan in 4 days. If Dr. McCoy's man on board, then my presence here is essential.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been great.
Just enough humor to really, sell it. And okay, now everyone's back. You leave on a happy note.
Yeah, it's still a happy note.
I know it's okay. And also, one thing I love Star Trek 6 for, because that's the way they should have ended the first one. I was waiting for that second star to the right and straight onto one, not that away. It's,
Yeah.
That was just sort of no. Come on, Gene.
Well, it was good to see you, man.
All
Always a pleasure to talk a little Trek.
Mm-hmm.
Good to see you, Bob.
I got a pile of topics for when we get stream with Rosetta again. And you're always welcome to join in.
All right. We'll see you later, Bob.
I can't even find time to stream on my own stream nowadays.
Speaking of Trek, this has kind of gone under the radar, and I haven't been. Oh, it's funny. Somebody just mentioned it. The audio con show. Have you had a chance? I haven't had a chance to listen to it. Any thoughts?
As I said, it was adapted from those 3 scripts that Nicholas Meyer wrote for the miniseries they were going to make.
Yeah.
And obviously it's been extensively reworked. When I interviewed David Mack, he talked about it, but I couldn't do anything with it yet because it wasn't announced.
Okay.
But I want to go back, and obviously having done an audio drama myself recently, it would be really interesting to go back and listen to how they've created. My big question is, what continuity are they using? Because are they using the continuity of Strange New Worlds, which completely destroyed any Khan continuity? The fact that Khan has a descendant on the Enterprise is one of the dumbest things Star Trek has ever done.
Right.
That's dumb. I mean, in a series of dumb things, that's one of the biggest. So how do you reconcile that?
You put
How
it
do you
you put it in its own continuity, Rob.
Oh, dude. Ba-bum-bum. Well done. Well done.
And with that, we will go to Esmel Taylor. Welcome, Esmel. You should be able to join us now.
What's up, dude? How's it going?
It's all right. Yeah, I'm a little I don't know, I'm just a little down. But I wanted to if you could do something for me, Rob, and that's because I just found out that John's mom passed. And
Right.
if you could just give him my condolences.
Oh yeah, I will. I mean, she passed a while ago, but I'll do that.
Yeah, I just heard it. I just heard yesterday when I was watching his show.
Yeah, no, I'll be happy to do
going
that.
back and stuff.
He's whenever I see him again,
yeah,
he's with his adventure up into Seattle. I mean, I don't think he realizes how far he's got to go this time. You know, last weekend I was blown away that he went to Albuquerque, Salt Lake City, Denver, and came back to Vegas.
Yeah,
that was wild, man. And I drove out to Vegas for that meetup. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's good.
Everybody was great, but going to San Francisco and Portland and Seattle, I mean, that's my neck of the woods. The fastest, my record, Seattle to LA, was 16 and a half hours, but that's when I had a Toyota Supra. and the way you would do it is like whenever I would drive to Seattle, and I used to drive all the time to go back home to Seattle, I would leave at 6 p.m. from LA, and I would get to Redding around 2 a.m. And then, so, you know, that was an 8-hour drive. And then I would fuel up at Denny's. There were 2 Denny's. I'd choose which one. That was my big decision, which Denny's on which side of the freeway I'd go to. I'd have apple pie and ice cream and like 8 cups of coffee. And then you drive through the Siskiyous where Mount Shasta is, these big double 4-lane winding roads. But there was no cops at 3 a.m. So you could drive 120 miles an hour through the mountains, and there is nothing more fun than that. Yeah. And that's how you make up the time. And then the sun comes up over you get down to, you cross the border, and there's Mount Ashland, and it's unbelievable. I'd find a rest area, and I'd get there, and I'd take a little cat nap for an hour or two, and then keep going. But for the 16.5-hour trip, you couldn't take a nap. And that's going 120 miles an hour through a 2-hour stretch of the Siskiyous. Yeah. John is driving a van. You know, it's a cool van, but he's not going to be driving 100 miles an hour. I'll tell you that. And it'll take him 24 hours at least to get back. So that's going to be, he's going to want to sleep. So he might not be back in the studio till Wednesday.
Oh, wow.
Because his meetup is on Monday. Yeah. And then I'm not going to be there because I go to Atlanta Wednesday afternoon.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, that and our country is just, I don't want to be a downer, but
dude,
it's something that I've been dealing with for the past couple of days, and I've been going down and watching these YouTubes and TikToks, and just the people. I mean, a man gets assassinated, and the people are sitting there laughing about it. It's just I can't take it no more. It's heartbreaking to me.
I'm with you. I mean, I've kind of stayed away from discussing the topic. What I think is, since you brought it up, what I find most disconcerting is that people are using things he said, most of them out of context, as justification for his murder.
Yeah, there's no justification for it. I was telling one of my friends that, and I'm like, dude, we've been friends for like 30-something years. I go, and you're making me just off this conversation, like, want to stop being friends with you. Like, that's great. I'm used to having, you know, I like arguing. I like having differences of opinion with somebody and being able to sit there and argue it out. But that is just like, it's like a lack of humanity to me, like for you to say something like that.
Well, that's
and these people are talking about, like, they're talking about his wife and kids, like, oh, they should have got shot. I'm like, wow, that's
dude. I've been talking crazy about this, though. I haven't really addressed it as much, but it's been very apparent to me, because this has been by the way, this has been engineered. We have an entire generation of people, young people, the people that think that words are violence. As we were shown, words are not violence. Violence is violence.
Yeah.
But there are people that now believe that it's okay to murder somebody if you don't like what they say.
Yeah, exactly. That's my message.
And this is something, make no mistake, that has been engineered.
Yeah, because like I didn't necessarily agree with everything he said.
Of course not.
But I do believe he had the right to say it. And it was just and like people were just like, oh, even my friends like, and my friend's like one of the people that he's always telling me like, dude, that's out of context. Read the whole, you got to read the whole thing and stuff. And then he started quoting stuff to me about him, and I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, you're taking quotes and you're
out of
running with
context.
it, out of context. He's like, oh, he's a racist and this. And I'm like, dude, he's not. I go, have you listened to the whole argument? I go, he's not racist. I go, if I take one couple little words out, yeah, anybody could sound racist if you just take part of what they say. And
He did a discussion with a friend of his, a gay man, a gay veteran, and somebody sent a clip of it on YouTube. I haven't seen that clip anywhere. Anywhere. And it was a long conversation that they were having, and conservatives were attacking. It was a conservative thing, and they were attacking. And look, I'm not saying that Charlie Kirk did not say problematic things.
Yeah.
But I don't care. You don't kill somebody. But in America, we have a long history of political violence.
Yeah.
So, but now we do have an entire generation that believe if they're offended enough, it's okay to kill the people giving offense.
Yeah.
And that's what's terrifying.
And
because that's the left. I mean, I never thought I'd be screaming about leftist playbooks and all that, but we have seen this dehumanization. Oh, the 20th century is full of it. It's full of people that come down to the fact that they decide, once you decide that it's okay to murder these people, there was a great movie that came out about it called I think it was called New Order.
Mm-hmm.
Was it a Mexican film? I have it. And these leftist uprising and it was kind of it wasn't a science fiction movie, but it was kind of a cautionary tale about the near future.
Yeah.
But let's just go after all the people we don't like, and let's kill them.
Yeah. And my thing was like, all he wanted to do was get people to conversate. And all he was going around these colleges, he was engaging with people, and he was allowing them to speak their mind, and then he would put his thoughts. And the funny thing about it is, I seen one video where this kid from Cambridge like totally destroyed his whole like belief system. That kid just systematically just took it down. And so he wasn't. I mean, he didn't get mad about it, but he left things open for debate, and nobody can debate with anybody anymore.
Well, that was the thing.
He can't have difference of opinion. It sucks.
He went to Cambridge in the UK, one of the great universities of all time, and took on some of what would be the smartest people, hopefully at that age.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. At the end of the day, once you start killing people for speech,
exactly.
There is no moral high ground that you have anymore.
Yeah.
And then what's interesting is they're not going after the people that or they don't seem to be pushing back against the people that are eroding their rights right in front of them.
Yeah. Yep.
And let's support murderous regimes and murderous belief systems. And I mean, it's really interesting how things have become very inverted, and we've seen it over and over again.
Yeah. Well,
over and over again.
I've brought everybody down to my level now, so I'm gonna get ahead and get off of here. But nice seeing you again, Roberto.
Always great to see you, man.
You guys have a good one.
Take care.
I've been feeling like you have, though, Ish.
It's a difficult time.
I mean, how can you not? It's just, you want to. All the books you've read that I've read, all the movies I've seen. Don't you know?
Mm-hmm.
Don't you know the difference? Don't you know where all this leads?
No.
Those who do not learn from history, it's frustrating to watch. It's frustrating to watch how this country has been dismantled in the past 9 months. It's It's happened a lot quicker than I thought it would. And no one is coming to save us.
We do have another. I hate to take us on a different direction here, Rob, but just wanted to point out IT Fanatic or It Fanatic gifted the Burnettwork 5 memberships. So I wanted to show a shout out to them. Thank you so much for doing that.
Thank you.
Every one of those.
And now comes on Modesty to talk some sense.
Yes, now
into
comes
all
Modesty. Let's go ahead and bring her. Hold on, let me get that out. Okay, and Modesty Maltese. Always a pleasure to have you here. Welcome.
Hola, Roberto.
Hola, saludos.
¿Cómo estás?
Pues muy bien, gracias.
Good to hear that. Hi, Rob. Guys, have you met over the summer? Did I miss anything? Have we met at all since?
There was a bit of a hiatus because I went to Japan. Rob had some busy weeks and weekends, so it's been a while.
Yeah, we had a talk
about a month, a little bit over a month ago.
Yeah, about a month ago.
Mm-hmm. So you probably haven't missed anything. I don't know if you were here the last time, but if anything, you've missed one chat.
Because the summer is gone now. And road trips are gone, vacations are gone, everything is gone, and rain is coming, at least to our neck of the woods. I don't know about your neck of the woods. Rob, I haven't been watching Alien Earth, but I was intrigued by this discussion about how humans would communicate with aliens in terms of math. Because that would be actually, I think, a useful use of AI in writing, because AI is not human. So maybe AI would have a great idea, because the system that AI uses is binary, not decimal.
Sure.
So they have, that's one of my fields of expertise, sadly. So I have a master's in maths and computing science. So knowing what I know, we had a running joke. The question that we would put to rookies would be, how many days does a year on Mars have? And the answer would be that solely depends on how many digits Martians have.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay.
And that is because our decimal system comes from our 10 fingers.
Sure.
Yeah. Right.
Dictated by our biology.
That just blows. Then we go even further. That the number pi wouldn't necessarily be. That's a really.
But pi is actually a constant. It's ratio between a circumference and diameter of any circle. So,
but you would have to. But in order to call a number, like we've drawn numbers to. An alien wouldn't necessarily be able to look at our numerical system and know what they mean.
Oh, totally. But if you wanted to describe a pi to an alien, you would have to show him or
draw the circle.
Draw a circle and diameter and show the ratio.
See, you know what? That's what they should have done on the show. Like in Alien Earth, they're showing an alien 3.14. And that was the thing that I objected to. If they had done that, see, you should have consulted on this show. And if Kid Cavalier drew a circle, and then shown the thing, and then the alien there's an alien that's inhabiting a sheep. And the thing is, the sheep, when they're talking to him, the alien is able to clomp down its hoof to do numbers like 1, 2, 3. It's a great scene. If they could have done that, of course, the first network note would be like, we didn't understand what that circle and circumference and diameter and what was that?
Yeah, but the answer is very simple. If you are pitching, you say, well, then go to, I don't know, 4th grade of primary, and the kids will explain it to you.
Yeah, you're not in this country these days.
No, but that's literally that, and dumbing down endlessly everything, especially at this age. Kids are, as you also mentioned, kids know stuff. I think I was the cleverest at the age of 12. I think I'm in decline ever since, mental decline. I have been in a long mental decline since age of 12, when I totally peaked with watching Cosmos. And I was like, oh my God, there are other people who think things like me.
Cosmos and James Burke's Connections. They were both on PBS here.
Yeah, but I wanted to ask you, have you watched Foundation? Because I binged Foundation.
Yes. Yes.
Have you read the books? Because I
have. Okay.
What's your verdict on the series? Because I liked the series. I didn't like season 1 because I think some of the actors were poorly chosen. They were not good enough. They got a bit better over the seasons. I'm not naming names, but you know who I mean.
Yep.
At least one person is obviously bad, and it's one of the protagonists. But you had more of that in season 1. But I warmed up to the series, I must say. But I keep thinking, should I read the books? Because how much am I missing actually, and so on.
Can I hold that and keep the countdown clock, Roberto? I need to just step out for just 1 second. My dog is going crazy, and yesterday there was a creature out there that I had to go take away.
Sounds good.
There was a skunk. Hang on, I'll be right back.
No worries. And Modesty, speaking of books and speaking of what you were just discussing regarding Alien Earth, have you read the book Project Hail Mary that's being adapted to a movie?
Oh, no. I'm waiting for Hail Mary film.
Okay.
And then I'll probably read the book because, adaptations are always or almost always worse than a book.
Yeah.
So if a film is coming up and I haven't read the book, I have a rule. I always watch the film first.
Well, and Andy Weir, he writes novels that are they're meant to be filmed. It's almost like he's writing a screenplay the way he writes. But so I have a feeling similar to The Martian that the book is going to be very similar. Like the film is going to be very similar to the book. But the only reason I bring that up is that they do use math to communicate in that story, but that I think they do it in a much more astute way, at least in the book. We'll see how it translates to the film, but yeah,
but math and music, which I can argue is math as well in a way.
Yeah.
That's the only way to communicate in close encounters of the third kind.
Yes.
Everything starts with 5 tones, and these tones are frequencies, and being frequencies, they're universal, and so on. So that's the universal language. So if you have 2 mumbles in your brain, you would say yes. If I want to communicate and I have no idea how, I'll try math or music.
Yeah.
There is no other way.
It's funny that you say that because in Project Hail Mary, they actually do both. Both mathematics and music are part of communication. I don't want to get into too much spoiler territory, but it's interesting.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Tell me, how was Japan? What did you see?
It was incredible, and I was just telling Rob earlier that with 12 days in Japan, you barely scratch the surface of the surface, right? I mean, you only get, but the time that we had, we had it packed with all sorts of activities, exploring around the different cities that we went to, and my son and I just had a
Where did you
awesome
go?
time. We started in Osaka, then spent a few days in Kyoto, and then finished our trip in Tokyo.
Okay, and which is the best in your view?
I like Kyoto a lot. It was really, really just we really enjoyed the variety of the architecture and the neighborhoods, and just they had there was a real interesting blend of the modern and the past, and we really enjoyed that. I wish we had, in retrospect, we should have maybe planned for a few more days in Kyoto, because I think we would have enjoyed it.
My best friend has just gone to Japan with another friend.
Mm-hmm.
They bought some kind of train pass.
Yes.
Did you buy that?
Well, for our trip, it didn't make a lot of sense because we were staying. It's similar to the U-Rail pass, where you can kind of jump on any train, within a certain amount of time. But because we were going to 3 specific spots, from a financial perspective, it just made more sense to buy our individual tickets. If I had been going for a longer time, the train pass would have probably made more sense.
They're just going for 2 weeks, and
Okay.
we want to city hop and hike, and I don't know what they're going to do. I think it's too ambitious, but if I ever go, I would go for at least a month.
Yeah, JR Pass, it's what it's called, and it's great. But again, for the kind of trip that we did, it worked out better to just buy individual.
And how
train.
was the language barrier?
Surprisingly, not as bad as I thought. Between Google Translate, having Google Maps is incredibly efficient in Japan, and in a lot of the areas that we were. At least for transportation purposes, there was English readily available for many, especially in the subway and train systems. Everything was included. English was included as one of the languages. So we actually were able to navigate fairly well. Surprisingly, a lot of Spanish tourists too. So we ran into a lot of Spanish speakers the time that we were there.
Did you use Google Translate where you spoke something and it would speak in Japanese?
I did, or I would type in it. Sometimes it was really crowded, so I would just type and then show it. And then we, at the hotels, for example, there was a machine in our room that I had no idea what it was for. So, and all the buttons were in the kanji characters, right? So I would just take a picture and do Google Translate to find out what it was, because I was just like, I had no idea what this is.
That Google Translate app is amazing. I use it to build, the Japanese models, where you just turn it and it transmutes the Japanese languages into English.
I know. Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
Yeah. So I did find out what a shower dryer contraption is, thanks to the Google Translate app. They have these dryers inside the showers that you can actually use to dry your clothes. You hang them up on the rack, and it'll dry your clothes while you're away. It's really it's crazy. So anyway, I will let you go back to your conversation with Modesty.
So I was going to say about Foundation, it's I love the show. I thought the 3rd season was incredible. And one of the interesting things about what they've done is they've taken Asimov's robot mythology and combined it with his Foundation series. And so the end of season 3 plays into that. And the books are...
You mean so-called goddess? We learn she's a robot in the end.
Well, people haven't watched it yet, but they won't know. Yes, I mean it's if
they haven't watched it yet.
With also where the robots are residing, Earth's moon, and the fact that no one really remembers much about Earth, and I thought that the 3rd season really stepped up the game, but then David Goyer, who's the showrunner, he left. But I think they left at the end of the 3rd season. There's a lot of places they can go. But I've only read the original Foundation trilogy. Then Asimov wrote more books after that.
Yeah, I read around it. I know what he wrote and so on. And I had an inkling that this happened, the thing that you said happened with them merging robots with something else.
Yeah, and because he wrote a whole... he wrote I, Robot, and that's where the 3 laws of robotics came from. And then he wrote more. And he wrote the Elijah Bailey novels, which is basically a detective that gets embroiled with robots. And it's really interesting. And if nothing else, I thought it was a really tough nut to crack. That was when you read the books, it's not like there's a main character. I mean, Harry Seldon's a main character, but it's not like he's a action hero protagonist. So it was really hard to distill those books. A lot of people complained the way the books were distilled was really difficult. It's really difficult to do. When you read the books, you'll see. But I thought they did a pretty interesting job, and they've kind of really figured out. I thought the 3rd season was really terrific.
I
Um,
thought it was great. The only thing was the mule. The ending of the mule. You know, why did this girl do what
yeah,
she
and
did?
that's a big change.
You know, I was a bit, maybe they're it for the next season to explain.
Yeah, I think that
Maybe
yeah,
maybe they're, because they're not stupid. It's not stupid writing. So
no.
I was kind of underwhelmed by that. But I don't know the name of the guy who plays Day, the
Um,
Empire.
the actor.
Is it Lee
Why am I
Pace?
drawing? Yeah, Lee Pace, Ronan the Accuser.
Yes.
Absolutely amazing. And changes from season to season. His character changes drastically. He's really good.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
If you've ever,
And
Modesty, if you've never seen the movie The Fall with Lee Pace, it's a movie by Tarsem Singh.
yeah,
I would highly recommend it.
it's really good.
Okay.
Just got
Okay.
released in 4K by Umbrella.
Okay. Okay, guys, good to see you.
Always a pleasure.
Great
Good
to see
be
you,
back.
Modesty. Take care. Actually, Rob, I don't know if this is going to happen anymore because of changes that I know. James Gunn has been doing ever since he initially announced the new DCU. But at one point, he was going to do there was going to be an Authority movie, and I think,
Well, yeah, I mean, we saw The Engineer,
right?
You know, it's funny. When I heard that, I went back and reread. I've got the absolute editions of The Authority, the first. I really love that comic.
Oh yeah.
At least the first iteration
Well,
of it.
before it kind of became more integrated with the DCU, right? But but I thought Lee Pace would make a great Apollo.
Oh, dude, that's great casting.
And Alan Rickson would make a great Midnighter.
I don't know if they would. I mean, Lee Pace wouldn't have a problem.
No, Lee Pace wouldn't have a problem.
No, but Alan Richardson might. But
Yeah.
that is great casting.
Don't you
Apollo
think?
and Midnighter. Yeah, that's you know what? Now I cannot unsee that.
It would be perfect.
Now I want Apollo and Midnighter. I want to see that.
Rickson and Pace. That would be a fantastic pair up for those roles.
Yeah, I mean, The Authority. I remember seeing that. I mean, I've got it right down there. And when I first saw those comics, they were really truly widescreen with their big panels and bold statements about all that, the bleed, and I loved it all. I mean, that The Authority and Planetary were two comics that I really they're
kind of cut of the same cloth.
Yes.
Yeah.
They kind of went together in the same. I always saw them as in the same kind of their own universe.
Yeah.
Like The Authority and Planetary were. It's funny. I'd forgotten that Planetary crossed over with the Batman. I'm like, oh, I found it in a box. I'm like, I remember this book. I totally forgot.
To a certain extent, although it wasn't as well known, but Straczynski's Rising Stars also kind of falls in that similar vibe.
Yeah, I've got a hardcover of that whole series.
Yeah.
I mean, but there was something about that. There was something about Rising Stars that was more ordinary than The Authority.
It still fell more in the kind of more traditional superhero trope.
Yeah.
But
whereas The Authority and Planetary had that weird British thing going on.
Yeah.
That only the Brits could do.
Definitely. But I think, definitely. All right, we've got James Howie showing up. Shonen Kaiju, welcome to the chat. Hello.
What's up? I think he's there.
He's there, but can you hear? Let's see. Can we hear you?
I think he's trying to make it happen.
You are unmuted on our end. Why don't you say something, James, and let's see. No, we're not able to hear you, so I don't know if it's the microphone that you selected on your end. You are unmuted on Zoom, so. James, if you want to, I can just bring you back to the queue if you want to work on figuring out the audio. I'll go ahead and put you back in the queue. We'll just jump to the next person in line, and we'll get back to you in the next round. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove you here from the queue. And we will bring in Stubble Matche. Stubble, how's it going?
What's going on, dude?
Oh yeah, it's going fine. I've been busy. I've been working on my world building.
Nice. I love that. I've been busy. I've been working on my world building. I want a T-shirt that says that.
Yeah,
That's a great slogan.
I have a number of spreadsheets I'm working on and trying to make it work. But that was not what I'm going to talk about. I finished the Stranger in a Strange Land. I read it in my teens.
Yeah. What was it like to revisit today?
Well, it was not really the same because I read it in a different language the last time, and also this time I read the longer version because the first version was like a third shorter. First published version. So no, but it was fine. It was good, but I understand that they took away some of the stuff because it was a little bit in the weeds sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but I enjoyed it. But you notice that it has a lot of. It was a while ago.
Yes.
It was written, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But
some things that might be considered problematic today.
Yeah. But I enjoyed it. But I just wanted to check it out after all these years. But it was okay. Anyway, while I was working on my world building, I went down a rabbit hole on YouTube, and I don't know if you in the 70s you had the variety show The Midnight Special in the US.
Dude, I loved The Midnight Special.
There's a YouTube channel called The Midnight Special where there's like 130 episodes up, and I have that in the background as I'm working. With Wolfman Jack doing his thing. Yeah, no, it's great stuff. But it was hard because that was one of those shows that was like on at midnight. It was on like at midnight, and I, as a kid, I didn't get up that late. The only time I didn't get to stay up that late. I got to stay up to watch Saturday Night Live sometimes, but the Midnight Special, it was. But it's nice to have in the background, when you're working away.
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah. So. Anyway,
by the way, I should just tell you, I just finished a book by Gregory Benford called Rewrite. And in that book, Robert Heinlein is a character.
Oh,
the book is really interesting because I've talked a lot about this science fiction novel I really love called Replay that was written by Ken Grimwood in the 80s. And Benford wrote this book. It came out in 2018 called Rewrite. In the book Rewrite, he references the book. It's like his version of Replay, but Benford references Replay twice. And Heinlein's a character, Albert Einstein's a character. Really interesting book that it's very much, Benford is clearly doing a riff on Ken Grimwood's Replay. And my friend Alvaro told me to read it. And pretty interesting.
Yeah,
By the way,
check it out.
I was reorganizing my Dresden Files books over there the other day.
Yeah. Have you read any more of them?
I have not read any more of them, but now that I have them all, they were in two different places, and now they're all together on a shelf. They have their own shelf. So I need to start now looking at them. But when you see them all together, it's a pretty intimidating. That's a lot of pages.
Yeah. But by the way, I learned really today, but you said yesterday that you were a grifter. That's good to know.
I didn't. That was what Grok said I was.
Yeah.
But you know what? It said I was a grifter, meaning that I peddle in hate. Which I thought was really, I don't do that. And I think that there's kind of a generic thing that because I'm tied to other people, guilty as charged when it comes to Star Trek, but I'm not really interested in peddling hate. No.
And I resented that.
Yeah.
Because if I did, I'd have over 100,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
And I'd have much more money. So I don't do that. But
okay. What do you want to? Because I have limited time. Charlie Sheen documentary or Robert Redford?
Okay. Elizabeth watched the Charlie Sheen documentary and she said it was amazing. She watched both parts of it. I haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
I gotta watch it. And I love Robert Redford. And look, one of my things that I most want on 4K is his movie Quiz Show.
Yeah.
Quiz Show is an incredible movie. I love that film. I love Ray Fiennes in it. I love everybody in that movie. I love that film so much. But I've always loved Robert Redford. Yeah. You know, he's great, and he had a great life, and he left us with so many. One of the things, if you grow up Jewish, the way we were, where Barbra Streisand, I don't understand this, but when I was growing up Jewish, everybody in my family, or men especially, were in love with Barbra Streisand. As a young kid, I was watching Star Trek. I'm like, I don't see it. I don't see it, man. I as a kid, I'm like, I can understand that Barbra Streisand's like your heroine, but she ain't gonna be on Star Trek. I like the girls on Star Trek, you know. And I had a guy grow up in this house where everybody's talking about Barbra Streisand this, Barbra Streisand that. But The Way We Were is a good movie.
Yeah,
and Robert Redford is incredible in that with her, and she does look radiant in that film. But still,
yeah. But I rewatched 3 Days of the Condor.
Oh, it's so great.
Yeah, and he does a great performance, but it's Max von Sydow who sells the movie. He's the most memorable thing about it.
The end of that movie, when they're walking out of the house and they're at the car, you know, and Max von Sydow like kind of gives that speech and tells them if a car comes.
He's terrifying without being terrifying.
He's one of the greatest villains in cinema history in that movie.
Yeah.
I mean, he's so good. I love that movie.
Yeah, he's like the definition of the professional hitman.
Yeah. I mean, he is scary, and because it's all business to him.
Yeah,
he's like, I get paid. I don't. It's they pay me, I'll kill you.
Yeah,
I don't have morality.
Yeah, and you know, the kids today, they wouldn't last 10 minutes through that movie. They would be so bored. Nothing happens, you know.
But even as a kid, like when I saw that movie as a kid, when he walks back to his office and everybody's dead.
Yeah.
That was when I first saw, I probably saw that movie when I was 10 or 11 on TV. And I loved it. I was like, this movie is great. Because then you're like, what's going to happen to this guy?
Yeah.
We don't.
But I think if Max von Sydow wasn't in that movie, people wouldn't remember it. It would be a nice movie, but people wouldn't really, you know, it would be one of the others, you know.
Well, one of the things about that, like a subgenre, I love anything to do with 70s paranoia because it's always true.
Yeah.
Like everything that you might be paranoid. It's like in that line in Strange Days. It's not whether you're paranoid, Lenny. It's whether you're paranoid enough. And I love that in 70s movies like The Parallax View or 3 Days of the Condor, that if Max von Sydow did not warn Robert Redford, you know, and the car pulls up at the end and he's like, get in the car, Robert Redford would have got in the car, you know, and the car would have driven off and the credits would have rolled. But yeah, I think you're probably right, because the thing about 70s movies is you knew that the Everyman, and Marathon Man's another one, you know, you couldn't fight these forces.
Right.
You know, you were doomed. We were all doomed. Warren Beatty was doomed at the end of The Parallax View. And then thank God Chris Carter gave us the X-Files in the 90s, because he brought back that even before it went off the rails. But yeah, I agree. I think Max von Sydow in that movie is the best.
Yeah. But my time is up, and I know you have limited time today, so it was nice talking to you. We'll see you again.
Always a pleasure, sir. Every time I read a book, I think of you.
Yeah, that's something to be remembered by.
Good to see you, Stubble. See, I didn't cut you off today. I was playing nice.
You're learning.
I'm learning. You're training me well. Okay, I'll cut you off now. Rob, we are at 1 p.m. So this is the time when we say goodbye to our friends on YouTube, but we will continue the chat on Zoom for those who are still here. So is there anything you need to announce before we depart from YouTube?
No, just that we are going to be starting the short story competition. Going to be launching that soon for the Imagination Connoisseur's book.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll have the rules and the explanation of what that all is shortly. Hopefully, I wanted to do it this next week, but I didn't know I'd be flying to Atlanta and testifying in court.
Right.
So now that I'm doing that, I look forward to being cross-examined on the stand.
Yeah.
Wow. I've never been on the stand.
Wow.
I've been deposed,
but
I've never been on a stand in a courtroom. And it's kind of one of those things that I've always wanted to do.
Well, now you get the chance.
I know, right? I'm really excited.
Yeah.
I wonder if they'll just let me go live on Instagram. Here I am, everybody. I'm in the courtroom. Live on Instagram.
You need to go watch Justice for All and A Few Good Men. Kind of learn some.
I love Justice for All or The Verdict.
Or The Verdict. Yeah.
These men. I wanted to be a nurse.
Yeah, to get you prepared. So, all right. Well, we are going to go ahead and say goodbye to our friends on YouTube. But remember that the chat continues for those members who are here on Zoom. So until next time, we will see you on the interwebs. Hopefully in a couple of weeks. We would not as big of a gap this next time around.
Yes.
All right, everybody. Take care.